Today's episode is sponsored by our friends at Famous Faces and Funnies, located in Melbourne, Florida. Click on the link below and check out their Facebook Live auctions. Hello and welcome to another fun-filled and informative episode of Codename New to Vero 2. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shabu Are You. Special thanks to Famous Faces and Funnies for this episode in our monthly pickup books, where I showcase some of the books that I picked up during the month and kind of recommend or suggest or just showcase where you guys get to sit back and say, hey, maybe I'm interested in that, or that's a really cool book. But in any case, it's a lot of fun. It's been a big hit with people, and I'm glad to talk about and showcase these. Now, they're not the normal pickups that you see these modern comic people do, and they say, oh, this is going to be hot. There's no theme or rhyme and reasons. I mean, I try to present things that fellow Gen Xers may enjoy, because we're not following any trend. We're not following any top 10 lists. We're not doing any of that. It's just books that I picked up, that I love, that I enjoy, or experiment and give it a try. And it's just a fun-filled and just informative episode where you could also take part in it. So with that said, I like to thank the month sponsor, Famous Faces and Funnies. I mean, they've been providing excellent stuff. They have their Facebook online auctions. And you got to remember, this is Florida. It's a very good market, even for you guys in other states to tap into, because you got to remember, mom and dad, in their later years, they may bring down junior little Missy's stuff, her collection of Barbies, her collection of Transformers or G.I. Joe or He-Man, and they don't know what to do with them because they're downsizing. So Famous Faces goes through and only picks out the best stuff. You get great deals on back issues, action figures, graphic novels, cards. So whatever your poison is, pick it and enjoy it, because Famous Faces gives you the best deals imaginable. And a lot of people that watch this channel have utilized Famous Faces, and I get such a big joy when they're like, hey, I got this. I've been looking for it for all this time. I couldn't believe the price. And I get excited about that because, I'm helping somebody out and helping two people out. So I enjoy doing that and partaking. So the first entry in our pickup showcase is actually coming via Instagram. Now, I know what you're going to say. It's a scary place, but I'm doing all the dirty work for you. Sun City Comics, located in Arizona, run by Sally, is one of 5-star place to do business with. You'll get a very professional, courteous, and someone that is just nothing but class. And look at their catalog. I'll have the link below so you too can go visit their page and browse through their inventory. You'll find key issues at amazing prices. And I think that's where, oh, is that too good to be true or what have you? But again, I do all the dirty work for you. And these are the two places I highly recommend you to visit and you could feel safe. Now, the advantage of buying things on Instagram is you don't have to pay ridiculous fees or taxes. I think that that's why it's advantageous to utilize Instagram from a reputable source. And I've benefited from that. Now, the book that we're going to talk about is Giant Size Chillers, featuring Dracula and the first appearance of Lilith. Now, I've been looking for this book for the longest time. And my regulars who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I started diving into the Dracula lore, with issue number 1 and issue number 11, Blade's first appearance, through the roof and getting so much attention. I wanted to dive in and learn more about the actual Marvel character Dracula, because I'm a big fan of the, what's his name? All the iconic Dracula movies. I love them so much that, I want to see what the MCU, and I've been happy. I picked up issue number 3, issue number 14 that are off being graded. So to add this issue to my little mini Dracula section is definitely a home run. And it is one of those books that, people that are that collect modern comics and stuff know and have been targeting this issue. And the fact that I'm able to get and continue my appreciation for Marvel Dracula is a home run. So Sun City Comics, definitely highly recommended. The link is on below, so go out and check out their page and just say hi and say, hey, I'm here from Codename and I just want to introduce myself, and you'll get the 5-star treatment. The next book is from another Instagram seller that I think is highly reputable and just amazing. I mean, this will be my second purchase from this seller, and we're talking about Punisher issue number 1. Now, we know that Punisher is coming to the MCU, and we also know that his first appearance as ASM 129 is kind of through the roof and kind of expensive. So one of the things on this channel, we look at the next best thing, and this book has been picking up traction the past few months, and I'm kind of mad is because when I was helping out Docking Bay 94 down in Boca, he had this issue and I passed on it. And ever since then, I've regretted, because I love Punisher, I love Ghost Rider, I always appreciated and enjoyed those characters, along with the other mainstream, more popular ones like Batman and Spider-Man. But for some reason, they resonated so much with me that I really enjoyed them. So getting this one, again, is a very, very excellent next best thing. It is his first solo appearance, his own solo series that would go on for quite a bit. And again, it's one of those books that has been picking up a lot of traction. So now is the time to definitely target this issue and pick it up and add it to your collection. And JD Collecting is a great place to go. Another 5-star Instagram seller. The link is on below. Check out their inventory as well. I mean, between Sun City and JD, you're going to thank me. I mean, you really are, because they have an excellent selection there and first-class service. I mean, I picked up another Catwoman issue number 1 from Jim Balent. That was my first purchase from JD. So to come back and be a repeat customer and just get to know these two sellers on a personal level just by talking has been a wonderful experience. All right, so right off we started with 2 big home runs, with the first appearance of Lilith in Dracula comic, and then also the first solo of the Punisher. And we're continuing that with these 2 selections, issue number 184 and 185 of Daredevil. Iconic Frank Miller covers. And we know that maybe next week or the week after, Daredevil will be making his appearance in the She-Hulk series. We already saw him in Spider-Man No Way Home. We know that Daredevil is getting another appearance in the Echo series, as well as his own spin-off series on Disney+. So now is the time to definitely pick up and get back into Daredevil. And you cannot go wrong with these 2 iconic covers. Thank you again to Famous Faces and Funnies. I mean, look at that. The Dirty Harry cover. Being reunited with this one is definitely excitement. And again, this one too. These are off to get graded. I think you can't go wrong when it comes to Frank Miller, Daredevil, and with all the MCU speculations, now is the time to definitely get up on your Daredevil stuff. Alright, the next book we're going to feature is going to be no surprise, because this is a GI Joe Comics YouTube channel. It's kind of bittersweet to talk about this because we're coming to the end of issue 300. But again, these are the one-shot offerings from IDW, the best of SnakeEyes and Storm Shadow. Now, what's interesting is you would expect the usual suspects, issue number 21, 26, and 27, and 142. But in this case, not so much. They're actually, and I like this. This is really cool, because you would expect that the best of SnakeEyes, and IDW has already given the reprint one-shot attention to those iconic issues. So again, printed in that high quality, high gloss paper, these things are beautiful. And what's interesting is they selected issue number 2, issue number 12, 213, and 276. So kind of like not the ones you suspect, but still relevant to the Snake Eyes mythos. And that's what I love about these. I've been getting flooded through the years with fans asking, hey, I want to get back into G.I. Joe. What should I do? Where should I start? And I often tell them that it's counterproductive to go after the Marvel issues. Fun it may be, it's a lot of work and it consumes a lot of time, unnecessary time. When we're at this age, we have other things to do. These IDW one-shots are the best alternatives. You get the best of both worlds. You get to enjoy wonderful stories. You get to be brought up to speed in the IDW section of the mythos, as well as this amazing presentation. And you can't go wrong with that at all. I read these where the other Marvel runs are 1/3 of them are graded and put away, just because this is where I do most of my reading is through these IDW one shots, and especially on key issues. And again, the presentation is phenomenal, and the issues are the ones you wouldn't suspect. So it's so much fun with that. And the same thing with Storm Shadow. I've been waiting for this one because I'm doing an episode on Storm Shadow, his IDW, uh, his character in conjunction with his classified action figure. So this is a big issue. And again, let's look at the issues that it covered on this. Because you would think issue 21, the same thing. But you got issue number 38. That's an iconic cover there. 66, another iconic one. 160 and 286. We've already seen that in the Best of Cobra, where it basically talks about Storm Shadow / Tommy Arashikage joining the Vietnam unit of Snake Eyes, Stalker, and so on and so forth. So again, a beautiful presentation, beautiful artwork, and just in that high gloss paper, you can't go wrong with that. And I'll have more of a deep dive on these in an upcoming episode of Codename New 202. Let me put this bad boy back. So stay tuned for that. Alright, the next book we're going to feature, hey, it's September, October's around the corner, so that means Halloween. And what better than the Queen of Halloween herself, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Now this is Elvira in Horrorland issue number 3. And my regulars know that I always target the photo variants when I pick up this title. Now we started with Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Shape of Elvira, Elvira meets Vincent Price. So this is the latest series, Elvira in Horrorland. And what I like about this is the cover. They take from her 40 years catalog and they put a cover for one of the cover variants. This is one of those covers that I may have seen once. I've only seen this photo, I think, once, but I like it so much. I think it's wonderful, and it's all white cover, so you know what that means for collectors. It's very difficult to keep in pristine condition, and again, I just like how it focuses on Elvira. Legs are looking nice. So it's a wonderful, wonderful cover. Highly recommended. David Avalone, the writer of this series, he came on the channel and did a Q&A with us. One of those underappreciated modern artists that I think flies below the radar, but his work is great. He fully captures Elvira's wittiness, her funny sense of humor. It's as if you could picture her doing all this stuff, and that's good writing. So Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, issue number 3, photo variant. The next set of books we're going to feature in this month's pickup is The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 6, or rightfully called issue number 900. So this is an anniversary issue, and we know how those go. And if you haven't, go to Comic Tropes, because Chris Pierce recently did an episode talking about John Romita Jr. and how John Romita Jr.'s artwork has even changed during the years. It's a wonderful episode. I kind of would like to add that I think John Romita Jr. or J.R. Deuce is the bridge between the past and the present. He's a link between the Ditko, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, to now what's going on with Robert Kirkman and all the other writers, Donny Cates of modern comics. So he's the bridge between those two eras, and I think that's why he's very, very important today. John Romita Jr.'s artwork is one of the reasons why I had Spider-Man come back on my monthly pool list. And again, just the fact that this is ASM 900 of Amazing Spider-Man is something astonishing and something to behold. I like this cover. It features an homage to the Sinister Six at the same time. I know there's a boatload of variant covers because it is Marvel and it is an anniversary and it is Spider-Man. So there's probably a boatload of cover variants, but this is the one that I picked out and I'm definitely glad to have it. With that said, next one is going to be issue number 7, featuring Harry Osborn and his partnership with Spider-Man. He's providing a lot of the technology. It's going to be interesting to see how, I mean, we know where this is going to end up. So let's get that out of the question. We know that there's going to be double, it's going to stab him in the back, and Spider-Man is going to have to eventually fight the Green Goblin. We know that's what's the likely outcome of this storyline, but still, let's enjoy the journey. Again, an artwork is phenomenal, and I think that it is really good. And issue number 8 kind of like solidifies that relationship where Spider-Man is on a version of the Green Goblin's glider. So again, like I mentioned earlier, that we know he has one of the Green Goblin's bombs. So what's this partnership can only go in one direction, folks, and we all know where that's going to go. So Amazing Spider-Man, I've been actually happy with this run. It was a little difficult in the beginning, but it has its pluses and minuses. It's not bad. I just wanted to be on board when we crossed that issue 900 milestone, and it's just anticipation for the 1,000th ASM. This numbering convention that Marvel is usually utilizing is stupid. They go up to like 100, then back down to 1. Of course, we all know that's a cash grab. This is issue 900, 901, 902, according to me and many other old school fans. This whole issue 1, volume, whatever, is just so confusing when you look at the entire Spider-Man catalog. Why? What's the point of it? I don't get it. But I guess it's to sell comics. So with that said, those are the 3 pickups I have with the Amazing Spider-Man. The next one, and my regulars know that there's been some guilty pleasures in my pickups, and one of them is Lady Death. Brian Pulido is one of those artists that marches to his own drum. There's people, and I respect people like that. There's people that could conform, and there's people that cannot to corporations and their, guidelines and stance. He's one. Jim Balin is the other one. They went off and did their own thing, and I respect that as a person. The only thing is with the lady that I highly recommend this, but at the same time, it's even difficult for me to follow everything in chronological order. There's like there's like 2-3 things going on at the same time, and they each have a like a 2 or 3 issue series within the whole overall story arc of the character. So it's tough to tell people, hey, pick this up, and because they don't know where to start, and that's kind of difficult. But again, the reason why I picked this up is the artwork, and Brian is on his game. I mean, the artwork here is absolutely astonishing. Like, look at this. I mean, this is the type of stuff that I enjoy. All of that. It's just beautiful to the eye, and it's just full of violence, gore, sex appeal. It has everything in it that you would want in a comic book, something to take you away from the normal day in and day out. So Lady Death, issue number 2, Sacrificial Annihilation. That's the name of a metal band, folks. I think that should be the next music project I start up. Sacrificial Annihilation. All right, the next series of books is no surprise to my regulars. We will do more of a deep dive when we cover these issues, doing their comic recaps. But issue number 296 and 297 These are cover B, and the reason why I target cover B is because it's a uh, bigger panoramic picture of all the cast and characters that appeared during IDW's run of G.I. Joe. I think it's a beautiful homage to them that they're doing within these covers, cover B specifically. I know a lot of people would target the John Royal cover, the RI covers, and that's great too because I love John Royal, but just like this looks absolutely amazing. So stay tuned when we do the recaps for these two issues. That's going to be coming up in the next few weeks. G.I. Joe, issue number 296 and 297. Again, the next book we're going to feature, it's no surprise to my regulars, as it's another book that I've enjoyed following, and another by an artist, creator that I greatly respect, and that's Jim Balin's Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, issue number 135. Now, I've always said this concerning Jim Balin. He rightfully belongs in the same tier or same class as Todd McFarlane, Jim Lee, Rob Liefeld. Those guys in the 90s, I mean, his Catwoman run from 1993 is one of the most underappreciated, undervalued. Just the artwork of Catwoman. When you think of Catwoman, 9 out of 10, you're thinking of Jim Balin's Catwoman. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. And the artwork in this Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, I love this stuff. I mean, we're grown-ups, we're adults. I look at this as art, not adult stuff, pornographic or what have you. But I mean, some people could say that, but it's if you go to a museum like the Louvre or whatever, and you see the artwork, it's the same thing. I would not recommend this to children at all, but at the same token, as adults, I think it's wonderful to read. The artwork is phenomenal. Let me show you. Like how Jim captures the colors, the action, and the lines and the curves in his artwork is what I greatly marvel and appreciate. And I like, like I just mentioned with Dracula, I like that stuff. I like, the little bit of horror, a little bit of wizardry and stuff like that. It just takes you to a different place and a magical journey to get you away from your normal day ins and day outs. So Tarot Witch of the Black Rose, issue number 136, is our next showcase. And of course, I am saving the best for last. And I'm talking about Frank Miller's iconic Wolverine #1 newsstand. Once again, thank you to Famous Faces who found this in a collection and put it aside, because I've been looking for this for quite some time now. And again, in the recent She-Hulk, if you zoom in to when she's reading a newspaper, there's a section where she's is saying, "Man caught in cage fighting with claws." Who do you think that is, ladies and gentlemen? Yes, that's Wolverine. And it's just a matter of time before Wolverine comes into the MCU. And once that happens, this issue will skyrocket, I guarantee. Now, Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine, is out of a lot of people's price range. Heck, even mine. I mean, it's a great book and all, but I'm not going to shell out $5,000 to $45,000 for that iconic issue. Now, the next best thing, and that's what this channel focuses on, is this. This would be the next best alternative. Also, issue number 282, as I suggested during the unboxing of this. Now, the one thing to keep in mind is the Marvel value stamp. This one has been ripped off, which is why it got a 7.0. But make sure that that stamp is intact in the comic book. But this is Wolverine's third appearance. So people kind of like sleep or go right by this issue, when in fact it is a minor key and it's a major character's third appearance. And this book has gotten some bit of a push, getting in key collectors like top 25. But again, it's an inexpensive, what better way to own an iconic character key book? These two, I'm telling you, pick them up now before it's too late. This one will be off to grading by PGX, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, that covers this month's pickup video. Thanks for joining, and remember, go in the link below, check out our sponsors, check out Sun City Comics and also JD Collections. Highly recommended. I think you guys are going to be really happy. And don't forget to check out Famous Faces live auctions on Facebook. This is GIJoe. Have an excellent day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.